Everyone wants to make millions from trading, but here's the truth. Most of you don't actually want to be millionaire traders. You just want the freedom that comes with it. Because if I really cared about just the money, I would have started a hedge fund already. But I didn't, because I didn't want that kind of pressure to be on me. I want freedom. And if you're the same, then watch this till the end. Because everyone on YouTube talks about the best strategy to use or how to make 10k per month from trading, but no one really talks about what really happens when you start making serious money from trading. You can't get to your destination if you don't know where you are actually trying to go. So before we even talk about 7 figures, ask yourself this. Do you want to be a professional trader, or do you want to use trading as a tool to live life on your own terms? That's a huge difference. And I say that because I've experienced both parts. Being a professional trader, managing multi-six figures in trading capital, showing up every single day, executing with precision, is incredibly difficult and tiring. It's intense, it's lonely, it's high pressure, and it never really ends. Because the more money that you make, the more money you expect to get from the market itself. And when you're playing at such a high level, you're not just trying to make money, you're trying to protect it, scale it to 7 figures, and stay sharp every single day. On the other hand, using trading as a tool for freedom, that's a whole different game. You build your edge, you make consistent income, and then you let trading support the life that you actually want to live. When I first started trading 6 years ago, I didn't care about driving a sports car or expensive watches. That was never the goal. I just wanted to retire my father. He spent his whole life working so that I could have a shot. And I told myself this: one day I'm gonna take care of him. One day he's never gonna have to work again. I wanted to take my family around the world. I wanted to wake up in different countries, experience new things, and just live. Not to be stuck in an office cubicle, working a 9 to 5, building someone else's dream while killing mine. I was tired of waking up with anxiety, tired of constantly checking my bank balance, tired of feeling like I was falling behind in life while watching other people live theirs. I remember one year, it was my mom's birthday. All I wanted to do was to take her out for dinner. Nothing fancy, just a proper meal to celebrate her. Growing up, she's done so much for me, and I felt like she deserved at least that. But I sat there, looking at my bank balance, and it had $120 in it. Back then, both of us were earning minimum wage, less than 1k a month. We were just trying to survive. So instead of going out, we ended up staying and eating at home. No cake, no candles, just the usual dinner, some boiled eggs and some instant noodles. And that night, I told myself, never again. Never again will I let money decide how I show up for people that I love. Never again will I let my circumstances dictate what my family deserve. That moment burned into my brain, and that's when I knew I wasn't doing this just for the money. I was doing this to rewrite our reality. Fast forward to today, my dad's fully retired. My mom's never have to worry about bills anymore. We go to fancy restaurants every single weekend, not to flex, but because we can. And every time I see her smiling at the table, every time I see my dad finally resting after decades of grinding, I'm reminded why I started trading in the first place. Trading changed our life, not just financially, but emotionally. It gave us breathing room. It gave us options. It gave us our freedom back. And here's the thing, none of that required a $1 million trading account. You don't need 7 figures in your account to feel peace. You don't need to be a millionaire to change your life or change your family's life. Most people don't actually want millions. They just want to breathe. To make 5k, 10k a month, quit the job that drains them, take care of the people that they love, and buy back their time. And if that's you, that's not small thinking. That's freedom, and that's more than enough. Man, I still remember being 18, sitting alone in my bedroom, just me, a $20 trading account, no clue what I was doing, and way too much blind hope. Back then, I had no mentor, no structure, no plan. Just a cracked laptop, some YouTube videos, and a dream I was desperately trying to figure out. I was living in a small HDB flat with my family, working part-time as a waiter just to get by, making like $7 an hour. Most nights, I'll spend hours on my feet, serving drinks, wiping tables, cleaning up after drunk customers, just to come home at 1 a.m. completely exhausted, and then force myself to sit in front of the charts trying to figure this thing out. I remember one night especially. I had just put a double shift at the bar, didn't even have time to eat, and it was raining so heavily and I was fully drenched. My shirt was soaked with rainwater, sweat, and spilled beer, and I looked and smelled like shit. But I still came home, sat down, opened my laptop, and entered a random trade on gold, hoping that would be the one that changed everything for me. That would be the one that allowed me to quit my job. Instead, I watched the market go the other way, and just like that, half my account was gone in a matter of minutes. I sat there, hungry, exhausted, and defeated. That was my life back then. Earn money in a day, lose it at night. And I kept going through this vicious cycle, blowing accounts after account, $100 here, $100 there, and just flushing it down the drain. And the worst part is that I thought that I was doing everything right. I was watching YouTube videos. I bought a course. I was studying every day after my 9 to 5 internship. I was in full monk mode. No partying, no games, no distractions, and still I kept losing money. My mindset back then was, I need to flip this $500 into 10K so that I can finally quit my job and retire my father. I was so desperate to make it. I didn't care about risk management. I was just throwing in 1.0 standard lots on a small account and just hoping for the best. And sometimes it worked. I flipped $500 into $9,000 in 3 days once, and I thought I was a genius. And then I lost it all the next day. Margin caught, account gone, confidence absolutely shattered. At one point, I even took the 1.2K that my dad gave me for school fees and dumped it into my life account. Flipped it to 5K then, and then once again, blew that on a random emotional trade. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even have the courage to tell my father that I've lost the hard-earned money. I just kept it to myself, pretended everything was fine. And to make up for it, I started working extra shift to quietly repay the school fees. No one knew exactly what I was going through. No one saw how much it crushed me inside. That was the lowest point of my trading career. That was the moment that I nearly quit. But I didn't. I sat down, opened my notebook, and wrote down every single mistake that I make. No more excuses, no more gambling. I realized the problem wasn't my strategy, it was me, my mindset, my discipline, my risk management. So I rebuilt everything from scratch. I stopped trying to make fast money. I stopped over leveraging. I started using a position size calculator. I created a trading plan and followed it like my life depended on it. Because honestly, it did. That's how I finally hit my first 100K in trading. It wasn't a big win that got me there. It was just small, consistent execution every single day. That first 100K was built on blood, sweat, and tears. Literal tears. But once I got there, everything changed. The next 100K is not easy, but it's repeatable. Because once you had your edge, and you pair it with discipline, trading stops becoming a guessing game and instead becomes a system. I thought that when I start making 10K, 50K, 100K a month, I will finally get to relax. But that's not the truth. The pressure doesn't go away. It just changes. Back when I was still trying to make my first $1,000 from trading, I used to think, once I finally make good money, everything will be chill. I'll finally be able to be peaceful and sit on the beach in Bali. But peace doesn't come from hitting a number. Because once I started putting in real money, 80K months, 100K months, I didn't feel safe. I felt even more pressure. Now, it wasn't about proving that I could make money. It was about proving that I could keep it and managing expectations. Not just mine, but everyone else too. It was about not screwing it up. And now with my second YouTube channel, Bread Trades, I've made a public commitment to document everything. Every win, every loss, every live trade that I took on my 6 figures account. I created that channel at the start of this year to track my journey to hitting $1 million in trading profits in 2025. And let me tell you this, it adds a different kind of pressure. It's one thing to take a loss privately, but it's a whole different story when you take a loss and you know that thousands of people are watching you. Just last month, I had a brutal week. 2 red days, back to back, lost $20,000 in total. And honestly, I felt defeated. Not because of the number, but because I knew I still had to turn on the camera and talk about it. No hiding, no cherry picking, no pretending to be better than I actually am. Just me sitting there owning the loss in front of everyone. That's the kind of pressure most people never see. Because I'm not just trading for myself anymore. I'm trading with thousands of eyes on me. Every click, every entry, every outcome, it's public. And even though I built a second channel, Bread Trades, to show the raw, unfiltered truth of trading, sometimes it just gets heavy. And it's not just about executing a setup anymore. It's about doing it while the whole world is watching and still holding your nerve. I've had moments where I second-guess entries, not because the setup was wrong, but because I was thinking about how it would look on YouTube. That's when I realized the pressure isn't just financial, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's identity-based. When you're broke, you're scared of staying broke. But when you're known, when your results are public, you're scared of falling short in front of everyone. And that fear, it's quiet, but it's constant. It sneaks into your mind, messes with your process, and it makes you forget who you are. That's why I keep saying trading isn't just about having a good system, it's about having a good mindset. Because one bad trade doesn't just affect your account, it affects how you see yourself. And when the whole world is watching, it hits even harder. Because if you don't have your emotions in check, if you don't have structure, this game will crush you, no matter how much you are making. There's one thing no one really prepares you for when you start winning in trading. It's called loneliness. You know, there's this chapter in Chris Williamson's podcast that really stuck with me. It's called The Lonely Chapter. He talks about how on the journey to become someone greater, you will go through a season where no one understands you. Not your friends, not your family, not even the people you used to be close to. And that hits me really hard because that's actually what happened to me when I started winning. Back when I was struggling, there were people cheering me on, supporting me, and asking me to keep going. But when I started making real money and started posting about 100k withdrawals from my live account, people started fading out. Some just disappeared completely. Oh, Brad, you're too rich to hang out with us, huh? The thing is, they don't understand the pressure you're under. They don't understand the discipline that it takes. And they definitely don't understand why you can't just chill or take a break. I felt that isolation the most when I started trading full-time. Everyone else around me was talking about partying on a Friday night and making plans for the weekend, while I was just thinking about refining my edge, getting a funded account, and mastering the skill set. And over time, you realize that it's not they who have changed. You did. You have moved on to that season where you no longer fit in with your old set of friends, but you're not sufficiently developed that you have gained your new set of friends. That's why I built the 1% Club, because I needed people around me who were serious, people who were also obsessed with the craft, people who got it. Trading is already hard. Doing it alone, that's what breaks most people. It's not just about strategy, it's about staying sane on the climb. And if you don't have the right circle around, you'll feel like you'll start losing your mind even when you are winning. That chapter from Chris, it taught me that the lonely chapter isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that you are leveling up. And if you're in that season right now, you're not alone. You probably heard of this quote, become a millionaire not just for the money, but for the person you have to become in order to achieve it. I didn't fully understand what that meant. until I lived it. It was never about becoming a millionaire. Like, yeah, when I started, of course I wanted to be rich. I wanted my dad to retire. I wanted to take care of my family. But the deeper I got into trading, the more I realized the journey was never about the money. It was about who I had to become in order to get here. Trading forced me to grow up. It forced me to take responsibility for every mistake. It forced me to look in the mirror after every loss and just be honest with myself. There's no hiding in this game. When you are managing a six-figure account, making thousands in a single session, you can't be emotional. You can't be impulsive. You can't lie to yourself. You've got to be sharp, calm, collected. You've got to lead yourself, even when your entire body is screaming in panic. That's the biggest thing people don't talk about. It's not about finding the perfect strategy. It's about building the version of you that can actually execute it consistently. I've coached so many traders by now, and you can always tell who's gonna make it. It's not the smartest guy, it's not the most talented girl, it's not the one with the highest win rate. It's simply the one who shows up every single day, no matter what. The one who still does their journaling when they are tired. The one who doesn't get addicted to the highs or crushed by the lows. The one who stops chasing quick money and just starts chasing mastery. Because once you become that person, the profits will follow as a byproduct. Let me just be real with you for a second. Most people watching this, you are never gonna make 7 figures from trading. And that's not me being negative. It's just the truth. But here's the thing. You don't need to be a millionaire to be free. You don't even need to have 7 figures to stop waking up with anxiety. You don't need a Lamborghini to walk your mom into a nice restaurant and tell her, order anything you want. If you're making 5K, 10K a month, and you've got your time back, you're winning. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to buy back your freedom. Spend time with your family. Take care of your health. Be present. Be at peace. But if you do really want to play the big game, 6, 7 figures, full-time trader, all in, just know that it's going to cost you a lot. Because if you don't sacrifice for what you want will become the sacrifice. Understand that you will lose friends. You will have to say no to stuff that most people say yes to. You will have to wake up early when everyone else is sleeping. You will have to sit with all the losses, sit with the constant self-doubts, and build in silence. You have to go through all the hard shit alone. And if you make it through that, you come out a completely different person. Stronger, sharper, clearer, and untouchable. So why even do it? Why not just stay in your job, make stable income, and keep things easy? Because deep down, you know that this life isn't for you. You know that you were built for more than just surviving till the weekend. You want control. You want freedom. You want options. For me, trading gave me all of that. It gave me the ability to retire my dad, to bring my mom out every single weekend without ever worrying about the bill, to take a Tuesday off in Bali and trade on a beach if I feel like it. Most importantly, it gave me peace. Not because of the number in my account, but because I've earned the version of me that built it. And that's what I want for you. Not the money, not the life, not the lifestyle, but the identity. The version of you who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't need motivation to show up, who plays this game just like a professional and live life on their own terms. So if you're serious about becoming that version of yourself, the one who trades like a professional, who makes decisions from data, not emotions, who has systems, structure, and support, then that's exactly what we do inside the 1% Club. This isn't a course. It's not some signal group. It's a full mentorship program built to take retail traders and turn them into consistent, high-performing professionals. We will give you the proven mechanical trading strategy that allowed me to make consistent profits. We will give you the tools. We will give you the coaching. We will give you the support system most people never ever have. So if you're ready to stop guessing, stop gambling, and finally go all in to trading the right way, click the link below. Let's make you the trader who actually makes it to the top 1%. And as always, remember, you're just one trade away.